Good day, and thank you for tuning in 3D, the Daily Divine Direction broadcast. For all of our new listeners and viewers who are tuning in for the very first time, I'm Pastor Pope, and thank you for allowing us to come into your viewing environment. We are here with you every Monday through Friday from 12:30 p.m. until 1 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, broadcasting live from the FijiWater.com sponsored studio, where you may discuss careers, finances, entrepreneurship. You can discuss marriage and divorce, blending families. You can discuss dating and relationships, whatever's in your heart, whatever's on your mind. God is concerned about that which concerns you. So we are here with you every Monday through Friday from 12:30 p.m. until 1 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. 3D, the Daily Divine Direction broadcast, is brought to you daily by Fiji Water, Earth's finest water. You may already know that Fiji water comes from Fiji. However, did you know that it is created by nature? It is untouched by man. It starts as a tropical rainfall which slowly filters through layers of volcanic rock, where the water collects in a natural, sustainable artesian aquifer, where it is bottled right at the source, free from human contact until you unscrew the blue cap. Fiji water, Earth's finest water, will be delivered right to your front door when you subscribe for delivery, and you'll save money at FijiWater.com. This is not just ordinary water. This is Earth's finest water at FijiWater.com. And for those of you who continue giving on the Give segment of our app at New Life-Delaware, and those of you that have made a weekly or monthly commitment to support the broadcast by giving on the contribution pages of our websites at NewLifeMinistriesInternational.com and NewLifeInternationalCDC.com. We thank you for your support and for your commitment as we fulfill our commitment to God to be here for you in 3D, the Daily Divine Direction broadcast, to discuss whatever topics are important to you, whatever issues of life you find challenging or that you find difficult to navigate. So I'm going to jump right in and begin by saying, first of all, to all of our listeners and viewers, as you know, we are YouTube Live, we are Facebook Live, we are RadioFreeNetwork.com Live. You can go to RadioFreeNetwork.com/new-life, and every broadcast will be available to you. In addition to that, we are targeted to launch our 24-hour internet radio station on on RadioFreeNetwork.com/WKAP-faith on Sunday, March 27th, 2022. That is our target date, pending any technical difficulties. If so, we'll move it to another date, but we are planning to be live 24 hours a day so that you can hear music that will encourage you, empower you, inspire you to be the best version of yourself that you could possibly become. And there will be segments that will be broadcast, 3D, the Daily Divine Direction broadcast, and of course, there'll be segments on health and wellness, there'll be segments on mental health and wellness, there will be segments on financial literacy and on entrepreneurship, so you don't want to miss this. You want to be tuned in with us. We will also have a segment called Achievers, where our Achievers Academy students will have the opportunity to interview celebrated individuals. So we are really looking forward to what God is doing. We want you to stay tuned. We don't want you to miss this. And we want to encourage everyone to become the best version of ourselves that we can possibly become. So tune in this Sunday, WKAP-faith. You can find that on RadioFreeNetwork.com. And of course, we will continue to broadcast on YouTube, Facebook, and on RadioFreeNetwork.com. I'm going to address a communication that came in from one of our listeners and viewers who indicated that your husband has been working long hours, which has not allowed you to have much time together that you could enjoy. And you want to know what could you do to help him understand the importance of date night. So let me say something to all of our listeners, not just you, but to all of our listeners and viewers. Date night is a scam. And I'm going to tell you why I say that. Because what we have to understand is society constantly creates things that are going to, and I'm very much a supporter of free enterprise. But we've got to understand something. Date night was created by society. It's all an illusion that we have to have date night so that we can have a strong relationship. That's an illusion. And the reason that it was created is so that people would go out for dining experiences, whether it's casual dining or whether it's fine dining, so that people would go out to the movie theaters, so that depending on how much time has lapsed, you might buy flowers, all of that is done to generate revenue for corporations. Now, I'm a proponent of supporting local businesses, and there are times that you will do that regardless. For example, there are times when you may decide that you've both been busy and you don't want to have to cook, so you might go out to a restaurant. There are times when you may not feel like going out to a restaurant because you're so busy, you're still working, you may order food in. That will support local businesses. There are things that we do because we choose to do them on an infrequent basis. But having someone schedule date night, and society has really pushed this because they want businesses to be able to generate revenue. There are therapists who will tell couples, you've got to set a date night. You've got to go out and you've got to date one another. No, that's not what you have to do to build a strong relationship. What you have to do is communicate. You have to talk about and plan for the future together. You have to build a great quality of life together. You're going to do some of those things just by the fact that we're all busy working. You don't have to schedule date night, once a week, twice a month, once a month. You don't have to do that to build a strong relationship and build a better quality of life. That's what I mean when I say it's a scam. It is someone convincing you to do something that is not in your best interest. Because the money you spend on having date night once a week, twice a month, or even once a month is money that you could use investing into publicly traded companies. That's going to build your wealth, not the wealth of the business owner. We've got to recognize, now, listen, we have sponsors on our broadcast. We encourage you to buy certain products. And the reason we encourage you to buy certain products is because they're excellent products that will serve some of the needs that we may need or some of the desires that we may want. We all like nice things. That's not the issue. The issue is trying to convince you that it's necessary, creating this illusion that that's the only way you can identify the love of your spouse or significant other. So I don't want to help you understand the importance of date night. Or help you to help him to understand the importance of date night. I want to help you to understand that the two of you don't have to subscribe to that to be able to build a great quality of life. He's been working long hours, which has not really allowed the two of you time together. Then communicate that and decide when, get it on the calendar. Decide when you're going to take a moment out to do that, to have a little time together, whatever that time may look like. It could be as simple as, so our area, there's the King of Prussia Mall. It's not an ad for the King of Prussia Mall, but they're not one of our sponsors. But there's the King of Prussia Mall. You might decide, we need to purchase some new items of clothing, don't want to order them online. We're going to, in the month of April, on a Sunday afternoon at immediately following church, we're going to take a ride out to the King of Prussia Mall. That's setting a specific time to accomplish something. And while we're out there, we're going to stop at True Food. True Food is not our sponsor, but we're going to stop at True Food and we're going to get a bite to eat. Or we're going to stop at the Cheesesteak Company, Cheesecake Factory and get a bite to eat. Or we're going to stop at Morton's and make an evening of it. You can do whatever you want to do. But what you don't want to do is make marriage or a relationship a job. You want to work to build a better quality of life. And while you're doing those things, you can talk about the things you want to do to build a better quality of life for the future. We've got to stop allowing society to dictate to us how we're going to spend our time and how we're going to spend our money. We've got to stop allowing society to do that. Because at the end of the day, our goal is to build wealth, preserve wealth, and transition the wealth to the generations to come. That has to be our goal. And having date night is not going to accomplish that. Scheduling date night that you feel that you have to go out once a week, or you have to go out twice a month, or you have to go out even once a month, that is not going to allow you to build wealth. All that's going to do is to create revenue for companies that you may not even own public shares of. Now that's something that many of you have heard me talk about before. First of all, if I'm going to use a product or buy a product or use a service, first and foremost, I'm looking for specific things. Am I buying from a publicly traded company which we own shares? That's the first and foremost. Second thing is, does it have a lifetime warranty? That is another factor. Because if I'm not going to get a return on the investment from purchasing from that company because I'm a shareholder of that company, then I'm not going to purchase there. And if I'm not going to get a return on the investment because it has a lifetime warranty, then I'm not benefiting from my purchase. There's no value in my purchase. It then just becomes a purchase. So those are the things I'm going to be looking for. And then, sometimes we fall outside of those realms, but if we're being intentional, we fall outside of those realms less often. And that gives us the opportunity to get value for our dollars, and it allows us the opportunity to build wealth. And those are factors that have to be important in all of our lives if we're trying to build a great quality of life. So let's focus on doing things the right way as opposed to letting society teach us and scam us out of our spending power. Now, let me go there for a moment. Since we went down this path, I want to go a little further. Because one of the things that I'm really concerned about in our society today is that we're not maximizing our spending power, our purchasing power. We're not really looking at the components that I just named, for example. And we really have to be more intentional about our spending. Because our spending is power. It's purchasing power. We have to be really intentional about that. So we really want to start lining up our products and services with where we're going to spend our dollars. So if you know that you're going to shop at a specific place, then, obviously if you're shopping at a store that you can get 70% off of something, then okay, it may be worth your while. But are you buying it from a store that you own shares in a publicly traded company? We want to purchase from companies that we own shares. So how do we do that? The first thing we do is we look at the companies that we're purchasing from and determine, are they publicly traded? And if they're publicly traded, then those are the places, if you're shopping there regularly, those are the places you need to buy shares in those companies. Now, I'm not your financial advisor, but I'm telling you how to get value for our dollars, how to maximize our purchasing power. So we have to look at that component. And then the quality of what we're purchasing. We don't want to just buy things for immediate gratification. We want to buy products that are going to last for long periods of time so that we can maximize the return on our investment, the value of our purchase. So obviously, as I mentioned, I'm looking for anything I want to purchase. I'm looking for the longest warranty possible, preferably without purchasing an extended warranty, preferably something that has a lifetime warranty. If it doesn't have a lifetime warranty, then I'm looking at something that has the longest manufacturer's warranty possible, or I'm purchasing from a store that will return the product if it doesn't last for a substantial period of time. Those are methods to maximize our purchasing power. And of course, as I said, I'm always looking for a lifetime warranty in anything that I purchase. I want to find out, does it have a lifetime warranty? Because if it does, that's what I want to purchase. I don't want to just purchase something that I'm going to have to replace in 6 months to a year just because it only comes with a 12-month warranty. So we've got to be more intentional about our spending. And, you know, I know you say, well, Pastor, that's really taking it to the extreme because all you asked about was date night. Well, date night is, think about this. If you go on, I've heard people say they try to have date night once a week. That's 52 times a year. And depending on how much money you spend on date night, you have to multiply that times 52. That's how much money you spend over the course of the year that you are never going to get back. You're not going to get a return on it unless you are dining at a restaurant or at restaurants that are owned by publicly traded companies, first and foremost. But the reality, they're few and far between. So we have to take that into consideration. Now, when I say few and far between, meaning most restaurants are owned by individual investors. Then you have casual dining restaurants that may be traded publicly. You may have some fine dining establishments that are traded publicly, but most of them are privately held companies. So you're not going out on date night is not going to give you a return on your investment. It's not. 52 times a year, you would go out and spend money that you're not going to get a return on that investment. So you have to take that into consideration. And you have to say, I'm not going to do that. What I am going to do is I'm going to save my money. I'm going to invest my money. What I keep in savings, if there's something I need to buy, I'm going to look at the possibilities for unlimited warranty or long-term warranty, or it's going to be of quality. I'm not going to spend money on immediate gratification, but I'm going to buy items that are going to last for a longer period of time. If you take care of them, they will last for a longer period of time. So we have to be more intentional about our spending. I don't want to encourage you to help him understand that if you go out on that date night is important. I want you to help him communicate with him that what's important is that you two build a great quality of life. And that's for all of our listeners and viewers to get some takeaways. Focus on that. Get some takeaways on how to be more intentional with our purchasing power and maximizing our purchasing power and maximizing our return on the investment of our capital. Because that's where we're missing as a society, not this whole date night experience. And that's why I started with it's a scam, because it's motivating people to do something that is not going to benefit them long term. This segment of the broadcast has been brought to you by T-Mobile, America's largest, fastest, and most reliable 5G provider at no extra charge. So if you are not currently a T-Mobile customer, you may call or text on the T-Mobile call or text line at 267-992-1424. We will move you into our queue so that you may experience T-Mobile. You may become a T-Mobile customer and experience America's largest, fastest, and most reliable 5G provider at no extra charge, which is T-Mobile. Taxes and fees are included in your bill, and if you auto pay by attaching a credit card to your account, you will receive a discount on your monthly bill. At T-Mobile, America's largest, fastest, and most reliable 5G provider at no extra charge. I'm going to address another communication that came in from one of our listeners and viewers who indicated that you want to know what to expect in your career during the next year, and right now you're stressing yourself out about the outcome. You want to make yourself available for promotion. Listen, you gotta focus on this. Focus on performing at the highest level that you're capable of performing. You don't want to stress yourself out about the outcome. The outcome will occur based on the work you put in. So if you want to make yourself available for promotion, you're going to have to make certain that you're performing at the highest level, and that you prepare yourself for promotion. So keep working, first of all, and get a better understanding of what the position above you is doing, the next level. Look at the job description, review the job description, determine how you can incorporate some of those activities into what you're doing now so that you can prepare yourself and position yourself for promotion. And then you have to recognize that you're never working for the job you have, you're working for the job you desire. So that's how you begin to make yourself available for promotion. But it all begins with the work you put in now. It all begins with the ability to perform at a higher level. Find yourself a mentor who's at the next level, maybe not where you directly report, but someone who's at the next level of where you're going. Talk to them about their performance at their level. What does that look like for you? And then you can begin, once again, preparing yourself for the next level. The next level is all about preparation. It's about preparing to be elevated. And that requires work. It requires preparation. It requires us to, first of all, keep working, but working at a higher level. And so what you have to recognize is that your career in the next year, if you implement some of these practices, looking for ways to perform at a higher level, identifying the next level, and then incorporating some of those activities into what you're doing now. Two people can work in marketing, but they can work in marketing at a different level. Two people can work in operations, but they can work in operations at a different level. So you want to identify what is the next level. Pull job descriptions from that. I tell everyone, pull your job description and do your job every day. And then in addition to that, pull the job description at the next level so that you have clarity of what it takes to go to the next level. And then incorporate some of those activities into your current activities so that you can prepare yourself for promotion. It will come. It will definitely come if you put in this work. You implement this strategy. You will be promoted. But right now, don't focus on the outcome. Focus on the work to accomplish the outcome. And you'll get to the place that you desire to go. This segment of the broadcast has been brought to you by Charles Terrett, located in London, the UK. They also have stores in New York, Chicago, Washington, D.C., and at the King of Prussia Mall in King of Prussia, Pennsylvania. So if you're in any of those areas, stop in at their retail stores. They have everything a man could possibly need. They have shirts for men, ties for men, suits for men, and accessories. If you're not in any of those areas, you can order from Charles Terrett at ctshirts.com. They will ship and deliver right to your front door in an appropriate period of time. And the White Company, located in London, the UK, they also have a store on Fifth Avenue in New York. So if you're in New York, stop in at their retail store. They have everything you could possibly need: home goods, clothing for men, women, and children. And if you're not in New York, you can order from The White Company at thewhitecompany.com. They too will ship and deliver right to your front door in an appropriate period of time. I'm going to address another communication that came in from one of our listeners and viewers who indicated that you are trying to finally get your affairs in order. And you said this has been a daunting task. However, you want to ensure that you do not miss anything. So your question is, what items do you really need to ensure that your house is in order? So first of all, let me say this. There are a number of things that you will need to do, but here's one of the first things is get legal counsel to draft for you a revocable trust. That will allow you to accomplish some things that will long term. So there's many things you can do with the trust with regard to placement in the trust. But in addition to that, if it's a revocable trust, an irrevocable trust cannot be revoked. But a revocable trust means that when things change or dynamics change in your household or your family, you can make revisions to the trust. You can revoke that trust. But you want to set up a revocable trust. The other thing is you need a will. You want to make certain that you have a will. And you may not do them in this order. You may draft a will first and then a revocable trust, because there's more that needs to be done with a trust than there is with a will. Will just needs to be registered, notarized and registered. A revocable trust requires more work. So either way, but you're going to need both. Eventually you'll need both if you're really going to have your house in order. Then you need a durable power of attorney so that you can make certain that you get a healthcare directive. There are things that you can do. A simple form, if you don't want your family to have to worry about paying for your burial, even if you have insurance, that way they can keep the insurance. There are companies out there right now that will allow you to begin paying for your burial every month, just as you would an insurance policy. They will let you pay every month for your burial. And that will count, even if something were to happen. God will that we shall live and not die anytime soon. It'll be paid off before you go home to be with the Lord. But if not, what you've already paid in will apply in addition to your insurance policy, so that it will reduce some of the requirements on your family upon your death. And nobody likes to talk about death, but I'm because I'm excited about the fact that I'm going to glory, that I'm going to heaven when I die. I want my house in order. So those are things that you will need, and things that you will need to do to place your house in order. I'm going to share with all of our listeners and viewers that we are about to celebrate our 17th church anniversary. As you know, I am senior pastor of New Life Christian Center, located at 400 Hillcrest Avenue in Wilmington, Delaware, 19809. We celebrate our 17th church anniversary on Sunday, March the 27th this year. And if you're in our area, we invite you to come and worship with us. Service begins at 10 a.m. There's parking on Hillcrest, where the brown brick building located right on the corner of Hillcrest and Marsh Road. And we invite you to come and worship with us at 10 a.m. we most importantly invite you to come and experience a better quality of life. If you're not in our area, you can tune in for the Sunday sermon at 10:45 a.m. We are on Facebook, YouTube, RadioFreeNetwork.com. Go to RadioFreeNetwork.com /new-life, and every broadcast will be available to you.